gentlemen, we'll start the session with our routine prayer. Request everyone to please stand up for the prayer. He is actually a very versatile personality. If I tell you his background, you will wonder, अरे यहाँ क्षेत्रात नहीं यहाँ क्षेत्रात कसे काय आले थे? So, having done his graduation in chemistry and then MMM from NMIMS, always he wanted to basically, in heart or rather right from birth, he always wanted to be an entrepreneur. So he became an entrepreneur. Did a lot of ad agency. He did a lot of work for big brands like Anison, if just to name a few. Then in 2001, he joined Doordarshan as an anchor. Till now, it's been 21 years now. He is going strong, and he says he wants to go strong for another 30-40 years over there. So he is normally on the other side of the table, but this time we've actually put him in a fix by getting him actually on the other side of the table. And before we start our session, I would also like to thank our sponsors today, Franklin Templeton Asset Management Company, and we have Neha from Franklin Templeton. Neha, thank you very much for the support that Franklin Templeton has showed towards Lokmanya Seva Sangha, and we look forward to your continuous support. You can understand nothing is possible without a good sponsor. And we are really, really grateful to Franklin Templeton. They have helped us, and please promise to help us in future also. So before we start, I would just like to invite Pethe Saab and on the stage, along with Tadarkar Sahib, our chairman of Guntunuk. I would request Pradeep, you can. I request Tadarkar Sahib to felicitate our speaker for the evening, Shailesh Pethe, with a small memento, a fruit purdy, and a memento. I also request Tadarkar sir to felicitate our sponsor for the evening, Neha of Franklin Templeton. Neha, please. I have known Neha for the last 6 years now. She's been of great help to me in her erstwhile organization, Principal Mutual Fund. And now she's with Franklin Templeton. So thank you, Neha. Also, there is a fruit basket. So I now request Neha to speak to us for 10 minutes, and then probably I'll hand over the mic to Shailesh sir. Neha, please. So Neha is basically going to throw some light on what the senior citizen should do. Although senior citizens in Vileparle are experts, but still they should be.
Good evening, everyone. So, as Sujit sir mentioned, I am from Franklin Templeton. So, I have been his relationship manager for almost now 6 years. So, we have a long association, which I proudly carry on, and I'm very humbled that today Franklin Templeton has got an opportunity to come ahead and speak in front of you. So, with real gratitude, I welcome you all to our session. It's a short session, but it's very relevant in today's market, because what I am going to talk about is more about your retirement planning. So I understand that, as dignitaries, obviously, you all would have already, gone ahead with your retirement planning. If not, now is the time to actually start. But coming to retirement planning, I would, from our Franklin Templeton, we would like you to understand what exactly it is and what it endeavors for you, because retirement आज का नहीं है, ये आगे के आपके सालों का है, प्लस आपकी जो आने वाली जनरेशन है उनके लिए भी तो आप करके ही जाओगे, right? So that is what is retirement planning, and that is what we are just trying to touch upon the topic over today. So as a teacher, like I know, a lot of you would be, having your entire career, obviously thanking the teachers, right? Because a teacher's role in any person's life is the most important, right? What they teach is what we are today. But as a teacher, their life is not only about teaching, it is also about learning. So even, I used to take classes for young kids and all. I know how much time it takes for me to understand the topic, even if I know that topic, the relevance of the topic and how to get it carried forward to the next generation. That is where, I keep learning. So any teacher's life is hardly 5 to 10% teaching in front of you. But in the background, there is a lot of teaching, learning, or 95% of the learning which we do. Why am I giving this example? Because same is for your retirement planning. आप जो 5 साल करोगे, वही आपको आगे 50 साल आपको आगे लेके जाएगा. यही आपका retirement planning है. So as retirees, as you are, coming near to the retirement, or maybe if you are in your middle life, what is it that you have today? Today you have wealth, right? You have wealth, you have health, but you do not have time, right? आप सुबह से शाम तक आप भागते हो, and you just keep on running to earn and earn and earn. But जब आपका रिटायरमेंट पास आने वाला होता है, या आप रिटायर हो गए रहते हो, आपको पता है एक चीज़ जो आपके पास बहुत है वो है टाइम. ये पूरा ऑपोजिट हो जाता है. आपके पास टाइम बहुत ही है, आपके पास वेल्थ भी शायद बहुत है, एक चीज़ जो आपके पास नहीं रहेगी वो है हेल्थ. सो उसका क्या मतलब हुआ कि अगर वेल्थ रहा और आपके पास टाइम रहा लेकिन हेल्थ नहीं है, तो आप कैसे एंजॉय करोगे? सो वी फ्रॉम फ्रैंकलिन वी रिक्वेस्ट यू कि आप अभी से, ऑब्वियसली टाइम नहीं है, आप वेल्थ के साथ आप अपने हेल्थ पे भी आज ध्यान देना चालू करो. सो टुडे फॉर रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग वी हैव 2 topics which we have the most importance is your wealth and your health both. So as you see, your health is the main key for everything, and that focuses and that generates wealth for you. So now health तो आप किसी को आउटसोर्स नहीं कर सकते. हेल्थ तो आपका जो है वही है, राइट? आप तो किसी को आउटसोर्स नहीं कर पाओगे. करेक्ट मी इफ आई एम रॉन्ग, राइट? आपकी जो तबीयत है आप किसी को बोल सकते हैं अच्छा आप ये तबीयत ले लो, मुझे आपका दे दो करके. वैसा तो आप कुछ कर नहीं सकते हो, करेक्ट? बट सेम इज नॉट ट्रू फॉर वेल्थ. टाइम, जैसे मैंने आपको कहा, मैनी पीपल डोंट हैव द टाइम टू अच्छा आज मैं आपको बोलूँगी कि प्लीज़ आप वेल्थ बनाइए, तो आप पूछोगे अरे मेरे पास तो मतलब टाइम ही नहीं है, तो मैं कहाँ से वेल्थ बनाऊँ, मुझे तो पता ही नहीं है कि क्या कहाँ पे मुझे वेल्थ डालना है, राइट? दिस इज़ वेयर द फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर्स कम इन टू पिक्चर. This is where people are there to help you, and this is what you can outsource. So if health is there with you, wealth you can obviously outsource, so that this wealth is more helpful for you in the retirement stage. So how are we going to do that? इसके पहले मैं आपको सिर्फ एक चीज़ बताना चाहूँगी, और रैदर मैं आप लोग से पूछना चाहूँगी कि अगर हम वेल्थ की बात करते हैं, सपोज़ आपके पास थोड़े पैसे हैं, आप कहाँ डालने की कोशिश करोगे, आप कहाँ डालोगे? एज एन इंडिविजुअल, अगर आपके पास सपोज से 50 लाख का आपको लॉटरी लग गया, अभी जैसे वो केरला वाले को 15 करोड़ का जो लॉटरी लगा है, 25 करोड़ है, लेकिन गवर्नमेंट ने 10 करोड़ तो ऑब्वियसली अपना लेगा ही, तो 15 करोड़ उसके हाथ में आएंगे, राइट? सो कहाँ डालेंगे पैसे, आप बताइए. एनीबडी कैन टेल मी, लाइक अगर आपके पास पैसे आते हैं, आप कहाँ डालोगे? So what would be your first prior? Fixed deposits? Okay, so आप अगर like suppose अगर आपके पास से 1 CR भी आता है, so 1 CR में से आप कितना practically कितना FD में डालोगे आप? Okay, so आप FD में ज़्यादा भरोसा रखते हो. So government FDs, safer side, absolutely. Anybody else? Nobody? कैश में रखोगे पैसे? Wow, sir. So the first option which you will see is mutual funds when 1 crore आता है. Okay, very good. I'm really happy, sir. Direct equities, yes. Correct. Direct equities. So yeah. Tax-free bonds, right? So equities again, correct? Or debt in that matter, asset class में आप डालोगे, PPF, etc. Right? So ये audience एकदम ही अलग है compared to the rest of the India, because आप देख लीजिए इंडिया को जब पहले पैसे आते हैं तो वो कहाँ पे डालते हैं? Next. Yeah. This is the reality of India. I'm wondering किसी ने क्यों नहीं बोला कि मैं फ्लैट ले लूँगा या ले लूँगी, ताकि मुझे आगे के जनरेशन को एक, अगर आपके से 2 सन्स या 2 डॉटर्स या सन डॉटर, मतलब 2 किड्स है, 3 किड्स है, तो उनके लिए मैं क्या कर सकूँ, तो मैं शायद फ्लैट पे डाल दूँ, एक घर खरीद लूँ उनके लिए. So the purpose of asking this question is this is what Indians do. For India, the number one option if they get money is real estate. And you won't believe, by 2025, आपका GDP, अपना जो इंडिया का GDP है, 15% GDP आपका रियल एस्टेट से निकलेगा. आज के दिन पे $67 ट्रिलियन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी अपने इंडियंस ने खरीदा है. $67 ट्रिलियन ऑफ प्रॉपर्टी इन इंडिया. NRIs की तो बात ही छोड़ दो. This is where people put money. And then obviously they would like, gold, because children की शादी है, तो मुझे गोल्ड में भी थोड़ा इन्वेस्ट करना है. Equity and debt तो बहुत ही नीचे आ जाता है. So I'm very happy, like, कि as you said, tax-free bonds है, asset classes है, FDs है. Again, obviously FDs again come in asset class. But this is very, very few Indians who believe in doing this. आज आप भी अगर देख लोगे, आई एम श्योर आपके किड्स बोलेंगे सर हमारे लिए भी कुछ करके जाओ. So this is something which is very, very threatening to the middle age people over here, because next generation is now going to retire. And if this is a reality, it's very threatening. Because अब रियल एस्टेट लेके आपका यील्ड जो बनता है, आप रेंट पे जो देते हो, 6 से 7% के ऊपर आपको नहीं मिलेगा. हाँ, एक आपकी प्रॉपर्टी हो जाएगी, बट उस प्रॉपर्टी का क्या काम अगर आप सिर्फ 6 से 7% आज के दिन पे कमा रहे हो। आपको जैसे पता है इंटरेस्ट रेट्स जो है वो कम हो रहे हैं, आगे जाके ये सिर्फ 2-3% शायद रहेगा आपका यील्ड, यू नो। सो व्हाट वी सजेस्ट योर रिटायरमेंट प्लानिंग हैज़ टू बी इन सच अ वे कि आज की तो आपकी ज़िंदगी जो है वो सवर ही जाएगी, रिटायरमेंट के बाद आपके जितने भी साल बचे हैं उसके लिए अब आप सोचना चालू कीजिए, राइट। सो देयर वी हैव अ लॉट ऑफ ऑप्शंस। जा रहा है नीचे, या यस in equity. So equity is only 37 lakh crores. 37 lakh crores. Exactly my point, sir. So sir also would be telling you, there are so many clients who would be earning 5 lakhs per month. And ये मेरे सामने हुआ है sir. 5 lakhs per month, लेकिन 10,000 के SIP करने से 4 दिन सोचते हैं और फिर लास्ट में 1,000 के SIP करके छोड़ देते हैं। लेकिन उनके पास, उनको बोलेंगे कि हाँ ये फ्लैट आपको कम दाम में मिल रहा है, दिस इज़ अ न्यू प्रॉपर्टी और समथिंग, नहीं सोचेंगे, ले लेंगे, EMI भर के ले लेंगे। So you understand the gap, this is where we come, this is what we are saying, it's threatening, and this is what we are there to fill now. So why diversify? I'm not saying कि आप properties मत लो, I'm not saying that. Obviously आपके आगे की जनरेशन या आपके लिए खुद के लिए ऑब्वियसली सबको एक तो सपना रहता ही है कि हर घर अपना, एक तो घर होना ही चाहिए, बट घर के आगे क्या जो भी रहता है ना सर, अब डाइवर्सिफाई करना चालू कीजिए। एंड फॉर दैट वी आर देयर टू एडुकेट यू कि बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस है, बहुत ऑप्शंस है। जैसे इफ़ यू सी, वी हैव गोल्ड, वी हैव इक्विटी क्लास, वी ऑल्सो हैव डेट। डेट इज़ फॉर पीपल जिनको इक्विटी से डर लगता है, बट दैट डज नॉट मीन कि वो मार्केट में अपना इन्वेस्टमेंट करके सबसे ज़्यादा नहीं कमा सकते हैं। डेट आपका कॉर्पोरेट FD भी आ जाता है, आपके बैंक FDs भी उसमें ही आ जाते हैं। एंड एज यू सी, यस, सी द विनर, हु इज़ द विनर? सो फ्रॉम इफ somebody would have invested in March 2005 से March 22 तक, ये हमने जो है वो हर साल का एक पिक्चर निकाला है, कौन से क्लास ने कितना आपको इन्वेस्ट करके दिया है, रिटर्न्स करके दिया है। एज यू सी द मेजॉरिटी ऑफ योर रिटर्न्स आर ओनली इन इक्विटी, मेजॉरिटी। एंड दिस इक्विटी इज नॉट ओनली म्यूचुअल फंड्स, दिस इज योर डायरेक्ट इक्विटी, दिस इज योर बॉन्ड्स, योर कॉर्पोरेट बॉन्ड्स, एवरीथिंग। बट दिस इज वॉट वी हैव अर्नड एंड गिवन टू यू। गोल्ड आपका है, जिस आप, अच्छा, और एक रिलेशन होता है, जिस साल में गोल्ड कमाएगा उस साल में आप इक्विटी का रिटर्न्स भूल जाओ, क्योंकि हमेशा इन्वर्स रिलेशन रहता है। आपका जिस साल गोल्ड बढ़ेगा उस साल में आपका इक्विटी रिटर्न्स आपके कमाएंगे। और अगेन सी, इक्विटी आप नो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 टाइम्स आपको ज़्यादा कमा के दिया है। इनफैक्ट जिसने 2020 में डाला रहेगा, 21 में, एक साल में उनके पैसे डबल हुए हैं। इससे अच्छा स्कीम कौन सा चाहिए आपको, right? So this is the reality which we are showing. It's not just numbers, it is the reality which we are showing. And as sir ने बोला था कि interest rates, आपने बोला था जैसे interest rates आप देखकर आप FDs and all में डालते हो, right? Interest rates again is a major turn blowout for all Indians. आज के दिन पे interest rate अपना 60% को छू रहा है। Government is trying to bring it under control so that people can consume more and आपके जो rates है वो थोड़े कम हो जाए। Government is trying 6% का average पे आपका रहे interest rate, but today also your interest rates are 7%. And what better examples to show than this? Next. Yes, this is the reason why your equities have to be your choice of your investment. आपने ब्रेड खरीदा 2000 में, 10 रुपए का है, आज के दिन पे आपको 40 रुपीज़ का पैकेट मिलता है। आप आगे जाओगे जब 2030 में, it will be 57 rupees. That same bread which cost 10 rupees has now become 57 rupees. Again, the major expense for any Indian would be the education for their kids. राइट? एनी मेजर एक्सपेंस आपका सबसे ज़्यादा रहेगा आपका एजुकेशन फॉर योर किड्स. दिस इज़ द रियलिटी. आपका जो 3 लाख में खर्चा हो रहा था आज 52 लाख पे आपका 2030 में होने वाला है. दिस इज़ वॉट इन्फ्लेशन इज़. So inflation is not 6%, 7%. Inflation is what that 6%, 7% does to your daily earnings. This is what your inflation is. And this is where we have to beat, because retirement पे आपका अगर सपना रहेगा कि हाँ चलो मुझे 1 लाख रुपए चाहिए पर मंथ मेरे खर्चे के लिए, तो मैं वैसे इन्वेस्ट करूँगा. Very sorry to say, लेकिन वो 1 लाख by the time you become say another 10 years, another 15 years into retirement, that will be 4.3 lakhs per month जो आपको चाहिए रहेगा. And this is monthly खर्चा. So if you are thinking today कि हाँ मैं इतना इन्वेस्टमेंट मेरा हो जाएगा करके कि मुझे ना 1 लाख रुपए हर महीना मुझे मिलते रहेगा, मेरा चल जाएगा मेरे सालों में, नहीं होगा सर. Because of this inflation. So this is what inflation is. And hence, this is what we show, that if you are investing in equities, that's your mutual funds, your direct equities, as per your financial advisor, what you get is the highest returns in it. अगर मैंने 10,000 अगर मैंने डाला था तीनों एसेट क्लास में, मैंने गोल्ड में डाला है, मैंने आपका बॉन्ड्स में डाला है जैसे गवर्नमेंट कॉर्पोरेट बॉन्ड्स है, एंड मैंने इक्विटी में डाला है. आपके इक्विटी के रिटर्न्स देख लीजिए, गोल्ड के देख लीजिए और बॉन्ड्स के देख लीजिए. दिस इज़ योर बैक डेटेड डेटा विच इज़ योर रियल टाइम डेटा, रियल डेटा. इट्स नॉट लाइक हम फ्रंट एंडेड कर रहे हैं कि हम आपको दिखा देंगे कि आगे कैसा रहेगा. दिस इज़ ऑल ट्राइड एंड टेस्टेड डेटा, एंड यू कैन सी हाउ equities have performed as compared to your other investments. This is the reason why Franklin Templeton says कि please diversify. आप घर खरीदो, आप FDs में डालो डेफिनेटली, बट कभी भी आप देखोगे एट द एंड ऑफ द डे कि रिटर्न्स किस में बन रहा है, आपके रिटर्न्स जो बनेंगे वो इक्विटी में बनेंगे. So why mutual funds? As mutual funds is one of the vehicle which is the simplest to understand equities. Equities क्या होता है and how many equities you can take in one point in time? You can take a lot of them. How? Not by आप by heart करके, आप इतना टेक्निकल जाके नहीं करने की ज़रूरत है. फाइनेंशियल एडवाइजर्स है जो आपको म्यूचुअल फंड्स आपको बताएंगे आपके रिस्क एपेटाइट के हिसाब से. The best part is according to your profile analysis. अब प्रोफाइल एनालिसिस हम क्यों करते हैं? टू चेक योर रिस्क एपेटाइट. आप कितना डाल सकते हो, आपका कितना रिस्क है. 1 रुपये मैंने डाला और अगर वो उस 1 रुपये में से 10 पैसा मेरा नेगेटिव में जाता है, विल आई बी एबल टू टेक दैट ब्लो? विल आई बी एबल टू सफ़र इट? 1 रुपये का अगर से 20 रुपये जाता है, सो जैसे 30s में रहते हैं जो लोग, they can take more risk because they want more returns. So the higher the risk, the higher the returns for you, right? So this is what we do in profiling in mutual funds, and hence mutual fund is the simplest vehicle, simplest tool for you to enter the equity market. And what all do we give you? We give you liquidity, so you have liquid funds. आज आपने बोला immediately 3 minutes में amount comes back into your account. If you have your money into liquid funds, you don't now have to even wait for 1 day. 3 minutes is the only time you require. Just click of a button and the money comes into your account. So जो मुझे बोलते हैं कि नहीं हम emergency में हमने पैसा रखा हुआ 1 करोड़ 2 करोड़ हमारे emergency में है, sorry. Please put it in liquid funds at least. You will get the much better return, and whenever you want, sir, my surety within 3 minutes your money will be into your account. This is what the surety mutual fund gives. So hence we have higher flexibility, we have higher liquidity options, we have higher returns options. So if people who would like for pure equity instead of your debt and hybrid, they have higher returns also. We give convenience in the terms of आपको मोबाइल नंबर चेंज करना है, आपके जो छोटे छोटे क्वेरीज है, घर बदला है, एड्रेस चेंज करना है, everything can be done on a click of a button now. So we offer such convenience to you. अगर आपको FDs में जैसे चेंज करना रहता है, बहुत कम रहते हैं, बट स्टिल यू विल हैव टू गो डाउन टू द HDFC ब्रांच और एनी ब्रांच वेयर यू हैव टेकन एंड यू विल हैव टू गिव इन द डॉक्यूमेंट्स एंड एवरीथिंग. म्यूचुअल फंड में ये सब नहीं चाहिए. यू कैन डू इट एट फ्रॉम द कम्फर्ट ऑफ योर होम. नॉमिनी चेंज करना है, विल बनाना है, एवरीथिंग कैन बी डन एट द कम्फर्ट ऑफ योर होम. एंड फॉर पीपल, जैसे मुझे भी क्वेश्चंस आते हैं कि ठीक है मैडम हमने डाल तो दिए, लेकिन हाउ इज़ दिस लिंक टू रिटायरमेंट? रिटायरमेंट में यू वुड नीड सम मंथली इनकम, राइट? सो ऐसे भी रहेंगे जिन्होंने अभी तक पैसे नहीं डाले, क्यों बोल कि ये ही वो एफडी में रखेंगे और एफडी में मंथली वो इंस्टॉलमेंट अपना वापस लेंगे. There is an option for you with respect to FD. We now have, which is something called as systematic withdrawal plan. Systematic withdrawal plan में क्या रहता है, आपके जो पैसे आप पड़े हैं म्यूचुअल फंड में, वही आपको एवरी मंथ ऑन मंथ आपको वापस मिलते जाते हैं. दिस इज डिफरेंट दैन योर डिविडेंड इनकम. दिस इज डिफरेंट दैन योर डिविडेंड इनकम. डिविडेंड इनकम तो डिविडेंड आपको देता ही है, बट वी ऑल्सो हैव, सपोज इफ यू डोंट पुट इन डिविडेंड प्लान्स, यू कैन स्टिल टेक आउट मनी एवरी मंथ फ्रॉम द mutual funds. We have this option now. People who are putting monthly, we have SIP. So we have a lot of options now. जो म्यूचुअल फंड का एरिया ही पूरा एकदम आगे बढ़ गया है. वेल्थ एक्यूमुलेशन, एवरेज कॉस्ट एवरेजिंग, अगेन इट्स जैसे इन्फ्लेशन को बीट करना रहता है, वही है आपका. सो ये मज़े की बात है, ये बहुत मज़े की बात है. सो दिस इज़ वन गेम विच वी हैड प्लेड. आई डोंट नो, सुजीत सर रिमेंबर्स, वी हैड प्लेड इट लाइक व्हेन लास्ट टाइम हमने किया था. सो लेट मी जस्ट गेस द आंसर फ्रॉम ऑल यू पीपल. मैं आपको 1 करोड़ देती हूँ, ठीक है? मैं आपको आज के दिन पे अभी 1 करोड़ रुपए दे रही हूँ, ओके? एंड आप मुझे रोज़, सो पहले दिन पे आप मुझे 1 रुपया दे रहे हो, दूसरे दिन पे आप मुझे 2 रुपया दे रहे हो, तीसरे दिन पे आप मुझे 4 रुपया दे रहे हो. मतलब आप क्या कर रहे हो, डबल करते वापस मुझे देते जा रहे हो, ठीक है? एट द एंड ऑफ द मंथ, 31वें दिन पे आपको मुझे कितना वापस देना पड़ेगा? एनी आइडिया? या तो आप रिवर्स कर दीजिए. आप मुझे वैसे ही, आप 1 रुपया पहले दिन पे इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, 2 रुपया सेकेंड डे पे इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, 4 रुपया आप थर्ड डे पे इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, 8 रुपया जो है फोर्थ डे पे इन्वेस्ट कर रहे हो, करेक्ट? राइट? वैसे ही 31वें दिन पे, 31st डे पे, मंथ जब खत्म होता है, आपका कितना इन्वेस्टमेंट रहेगा? एनी गेसेस? देयर इज नथिंग राइट और रॉन्ग. आप जस्ट मुझे थॉट. सॉरी, 10 crores. Okay, so I got one answer is 10 crores. What else? 2 raised to? Yes, so 2 raised to 31 कितना हुआ सर? फिगर चाहिए मुझे. Anybody? $100 crores, okay. Sir. Anybody else? Nahi? Okay, so let's see the answer. Absolutely right, sir. You will have 107 crores at the end of the month with you. This is the power of compounding, and this holds true for your investment also. This holds true अगर आपको किसी को पैसे देने हैं तो कभी आप किसी को पैसे दोगे, आप बोलोगे हाँ मैं रोज़ आपको उसका डबल देते जाऊँगा, तो प्लीज़ ऐसा मत करना, क्योंकि आपके हाथ से 107 करोड़ निकल जाएंगे. But when you are investing, sir, if you are investing the double of every days, at the end of the month, you will have this in your hands, 107 crores. This is your power of compounding. And this is the power of compounding, which is the base for your mutual funds. आप कोई भी म्यूचुअल फंड उठा के लोगे, we give returns in terms of compounding, CAGR, compounding rate of interest that we give you back. So आपने 1 रुपया डाला है और उसका 2 रुपया हुआ है, तो हम 2 रुपये पे आपको इंटरेस्ट देंगे, हम 1 पे नहीं देंगे. This is for your SIPs. And अब सबसे मज़े की बात है, आप बोलोगे चलो मैं आज से इन्वेस्ट करना चालू करता हूँ, राइट? या करती हूँ. सो अब आप देखिए आपको कितना इन्वेस्टमेंट करना पड़ेगा. दिस इज योर कॉस्ट ऑफ डिले. If you are investing at 25 years, you start investing from 25 years. At 55 years, you will have 1.76 crores. Okay, you'll have 1.76 crores as 55 years of age. But if you have started investing at 45 years, you will only have 34 lakhs in your hand. This is your cost of delay. So again, from Franklin Templeton, from Sujit sir, we request you please start investing for your benefit. Please tell your kids, your आगे की generation to start investing, because this will be the cost that they will be paying. And this is your normal cost है, इसमें तो मैंने inflation count भी नहीं किया हमने. तो इसका आपका power क्या रहेगा 34 lakhs का after 30 years of age, वो किसी को नहीं पता है कि 34 lakhs में कितना क्या आएगा. So if you're looking at 5 crores at age 60, please start investing, because at 25 years if you start investing, your monthly output only will be 7,000. 7,000 के SIP आप करोगे from 25 years of age, you will get 5 crores guaranteed according to the returns जो हम बनाते हैं. But if you start at 30 years, you will have to put 14,000. Similarly, if you start at 45 years, you'll have to put 1 lakh per month. 1 lakh per month, so that you can reach your goal of 5 crores at the end of the retirement. So, again, why this? आपको टैक्स में भी बेनिफिट मिलेगा. सो डबल बेनिफिट है, राइट? बिकॉज आपको पता है शॉर्ट टर्म एंड लॉन्ग टर्म भी आप ऑफसेट कर सकते हो. आपके जो भी FDs रहेगा, कहीं पे भी आपका लॉस रहेगा शॉर्ट टर्म, तो यू कैन ऑफसेट दिस लॉस विथ योर म्यूचुअल फंड शॉर्ट टर्म कैपिटल गेन. एंड अगर लॉन्ग टर्म लॉस रहेगा तो यू कैन ऑफसेट इट विथ योर लॉन्ग टर्म कैपिटल गेन्स. सो बोथ आर ऑल्सो अवेलेबल. So this is the SWP which we were talking about, that we can send across the email to them, right? So you will get the entire illustration of how SWP works. आपको अगर से 1 लाख पर मंथ आपको विड्रॉवल चाहिए, तो कितना आपको डालना है ताकि आपको 1 लाख पर मंथ विड्रॉल मिलते रहे, प्लस आपका कैपिटल जो है वो वैसा का वैसा ही रहे. So what is the rate of return and everything, that will send you the illustration. In terms of paucity of little time, I'll go, you will be sent a. How much is enough? आप पूछो कितना करना है मुझे. सो वो तो सुजीत से आपको बता देंगे, राइट? बट एज पर योर लाइफ स्पैन ऑब्वियसली द कॉर्पस, सर आप करोगे ना. नेक्स्ट एंड द लास्ट टॉपिक विच आई वुड लाइक टू रेज फॉर यू इज विल. अगर आपने म्यूचुअल फंड में इन्वेस्ट नहीं किया है, आप ऑब्वियसली चालू कर दोगे आफ्टर सीइंग ऑल दीज नंबर्स, आई एम श्योर. बट अगर आपने विल नहीं बनाया है, प्लीज़ कल संडे है, आपके सारे लॉयर्स को काम पे लगा दो, विल बना दो. देयर इज अ मिथ कि विल सिर्फ अमीर लोग बनाते हैं. बट ट्रस्ट मी व्हेन आई टेल यू, इवन आई हैव मेड माई विल. बिकॉज वेन एवर देर इज अ क्लेम, आप बोलोगे कि मैंने तो नॉमिनी रख दिया है तो नॉमिनी को तो सब मिल जाएगा करके. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट. इफ देर इज अ विल, द विल सुपरसीड्स योर नॉमिनी, एंड दिस इज अ फैक्ट. So if you say that okay only nominee रखने से आपका काम हो जाएगा, no. If there is a legal battle any time in your life, your will always supersede any of the nomination kept, and not only for mutual fund, for any nomination that you have kept. So please create a will. And will का एक draft भी रहता है, which is a format रहता है. आपके कोई भी lawyers आपको दे देंगे. At least एक will बना के आपके पास एक copy रख दो, एक lawyer के पास copy रख दो. That's it. You only have to do this to go ahead and बी रेस्ट अश्योर्ड कि आपका विल जो है वो काम पे लग जाएगा. So reasons to make a will, as I told you, appoint the guardians for any minor children. If you want to give equal share to all the siblings, and you have to obviously आपके bitterness and anything and everything related to your family matters will be taken care of by only the will. So as I told you, it's not like only rich people make wills. Today everybody makes wills. And obviously it's not like कि आप बोल दो कि हाँ मेरे जो legal heirs है वो लोग आपका सब संभाल लेंगे. It's not like that. Sometimes what happens is that there might be some altercations. Better है एक will आपका place पे रहेगा, so this will help you out. So to summarize today, we have, we would like you to please remember the retirement planning that we have told you. We have told you with the correct numbers. So I'm sure that now, people will definitely look at mutual funds as one of the option apart from your FDs and from your real estates. I would be more than happy to, get some clients who would, want to start investing in mutual funds. Okay, so that's it from my side, and thank you for being the audience. I will hand over to Sujit sir. So, any questions? Sujit sir will answer.
Thank you, Neha. Thank you very much. And we look forward for your support. I've just got a confirmation from Swaroop for the 6th, so we are quite affirmative. So we've started with I'll just take 2 minutes. We've started with a unique exercise now. So now, it's first of a kind, Lokmanya Seva Sangha now will be giving us, or will be doing an investor awareness program at Vidya Alankar Institute of Technology. This is the first of its kind. So there are about 150 students where Lokmanya Seva Sangha will create investor awareness so that the students start investing, and what Neha said, so right from the college date, they start investing. We are also looking at tying up with a lot of colleges nearby, but first off, Institute Lokmanya Seva Sangha will do an IAP for students of Vidya Alankar Institute. This is just to give you this is just to give you a roadmap that to what level we are thinking of taking our investments guidance cell. Now, over to Shailesh sir.
Thanks a lot, Neha, for a wonderful presentation, and it was really eye-opening, and I sincerely decided to go for the early retirement, though I am an investor with Franklin Templeton SIP for last many years. But the figures which you have shown, it's really music to the ears. So I'm hoping for the 107 crores. If I get it early, so I will be retired very soon. So thanks a lot, Sujit and Uday, for inviting me here. And what Sujit very humbly introduced me, but it was like a sweet thread to come here, because I had been here for many times, but not as a speaker, but as an interviewer. I remember many years back, I interviewed S. Lensman, Gautam Rajadhyaksha, Shobha Day, I brought her here. And I was involved in such programs in a big institution like Lokmanya Seva Sangha, and I was amazed that Uday told me that for last 37 years you are doing this investment awareness program at the PL Bhagwat series, and today's topic which was given to me is like 75 years of capital markets, how the capital markets evolved in all these 75 years. The topic is really little bit technical also. It's, I think, more than numbers oriented, so I avoided that. So I already had the numbers with me, but I will avoid that. And a very big broker, he once told me when I was interviewing him, so before starting interview and interaction, he told me, remember KISS. So I was a little bit confused. So KISS is keep it short and simple. So I will obey that instruction which was given to me long years back. So I will keep it more simple and yet interesting. How many of us remember when we heard first about the Bombay Stock Exchange, Sensex, Nifty, or any other things, or the capital markets? I will tell you my example. I was doing MBA in Simonji Institute, and I had seen one big presentation made to Reliance that time. It was the Reliance corporate image presentation, the presentation done by their ad agency. So that time Reliance was going through a corporate reputation worldwide, and the agency suggested them कि because first Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru's one statement कि Bhakra Nangal is a temple of modern India. That agency proposes to Reliance the Bombay Stock Exchange is the temple for Reliance. It should be temple for Reliance. And future for Reliance should be the Nasdaq, that is New York Stock Exchange. So because you will be giving all the Indians to create wealth on the stock markets, BSE, NSE and all. And that agency got the work. That's how I interacted, or I came across with the concept of BSE or the Sensex or Nifty myself. And you see the history of Reliance, they have created millions and billions of rupees for the Indian stakeholders, and that presentation was up to the mark. Coming back to the 75 years of evolution of capital markets, let's take the situation today. It's a very incredible diplomacy by the current government that we are in a sweet spot. India is always in the sweet spot now. And according to Kumar Mangalam Birla, he said that India will be a capital mela for all over the world and India will become an asset class for the world. It's not a debt, equity and all. India will become the asset for the entire world or the global money who will pump their money into India. So that is the situation we are into. You see the Sensex from 1996 to 2020 is 48 times the wealth has been generated, 48 times the wealth has been created. If you see all the corporate performances, all the numbers, if you see, it's a 48% increase in all these Sensex, Nifty and all. So that is the situation where we are into. Today's topic, I have decided to go for many themes which I have personally studied, observed. Though my disclaimer, there will be many much disclaimers I want to put. I am not a research analyst, I am not a fund manager. I am not an investment advisor also, and whatever stocks or whatever themes I will represent or I will explain, I don't have any stake in those stocks. Because when we started investing as the equity market or the equity market, I always consider myself as a cheerleader to the Indian economy and Sensex. And I'm sure all of you must be having that kind of feeling. We are a cheerleader for this growing economy, Indian economy, and we want to be a part or smallest or tiniest part of the entire ecosystem of the Indian economy, the great Indian economy, I should say. Today's situation, the 75 years, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, as the theme was given by Honorable Prime Minister. Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav coincides with the Samruddhi Ka Mahotsav also, because when you talk about the capital markets, when you talk about the stock markets, it's always some sort of wealth creation, some sort of samruddhi, what the markets are offering, and 14 to 15% annual growth or annual income, I should say, from the stock markets is very well guaranteed if you observe all these years' performances as well. Secondly, this is the time one should invest, one should keep investing in these markets. That's what all these major economists are also saying. FIIs pumping money in the market, FPIs are pumping money in the market. I will quote some examples also how I dealt with this FII people. As an investment banker, I have handled many IPOs, I have raised debt, equity for many corporates. We have launched some IPOs also. I think I was being told that the SEBI guidelines doesn't allow me to take names in the lecture. So, not recommending. So I will restrict myself that. I was dealing with one FII called Greenwich. Greenwich is a private equity fund, UK-based fund. And they were our investor in one of the stocks which I was doing the IPOs. So I tried to give them some knowledge about the India or Indian economy. So his Indian counterpart told me, Shailesh, they know where the Pani Puri is serving the best in Mumbai. So don't try to teach them what is India or what is the Indian economy or what is the Indian stock markets. They are well studied, they are well researched, and that's why the FIIs pumping last month, I think 13,500 crores. The FII pumped money in 1 month. FPI also we have the similar performances in all these years. My point of telling you all these things, these figures are available, this knowledge is available everywhere. Why one should invest now and why one should start investing now? That is the issue. Because 75 years, today we are talking, if you see the next 25 years, that Honorable Prime Minister said that it will be much more delightful and creating the wealth for all the common citizens. We have 50% of population still staying in rural India. So that 50% is throwing the enormous opportunity to grow the wealth, because 50% rural India means 150% the opportunity for all the corporates, all the industry houses to go there and offer their products. I think we'll start some themes which I have studied, and it's not a recommendation. From era of liberalization, 1991, we become a free economy, and we are all, I think we belong to all the generations, we are the beneficiary of this liberalized era. It's said that at the age of 20, if you are not socialist, there is something wrong in your heart. And at the age of 50, if you are not capitalist, there is something wrong in your head. So we are at the right time, we have gone for the liberalization, and all this from 91 to 2022. The kind of fruits we are enjoying of this liberalization is giving the enormous results that we are seeing. I've taken too many themes for the next 25 years. I will like to share that with you, and another 10 themes for the next 25 years as far as the equity markets are concerned. Firstly, India is the 5th largest economy. Very soon we are going to be 3rd largest economy. We have a great talent pool, great human resources, ability to keep our culture alive. That is more important. And it's such a free nation. We are all fortunate to born in this nation because you can't imagine yourself born in Pakistan or Afghanistan. There will not be a free exchange of ideas and free exchange of the deliverance. So we are fortunate to be in this era. So what first theme which I come to my mind is consumption. Consumption is the theme which one should always focus on because the domestic consumption, it's always a domestic consumption story. Though we are now turning towards the export-based economy thanks to the current policies which are very business friendly or which are very business friendly and more than that export friendly. So very soon we are turning towards the export-based economy. But the domestic consumption story is it offers wide variety for the equity market investors. I'm telling you example, let's say ITC, let's say Unilever. Unilever was not making money till 1996. Though the entire product range reaches to all households, you must have experience on that. ITC, Godrej Staples, all these companies they can give you the maximum returns. I'm again telling it's not a recommendation, but the history shows, if you see the graphs also, if you see the investment pattern also, the kind of returns they have generated is much, much more than expected. Because consumption story, this consumer staples, we have FMCG, I've told you then second theme I thought is the infrastructure story. India is becoming an infrastructure story. You see the kind of roads which are making. Earlier it was 30 kilometers a day. Now nobody asks how many kilometers a day the government is making. It's so set formula. The infrastructure story is here to stay for next 15 years. And as Uday, being always a popular guest on our show, he always really bullish on infrastructure and the kind of offerings infrastructure sector is offering. NVIT. NVIT is a new investment trust, infrastructure investment trust. Is a new opportunity to invest in. In infrastructure, there are small players who are catering to the lighting segment of it. Lighting, we have ancillaries, infrastructure, cement. All these stocks will pose you a great returns in the coming months. Share of global money coming to India, because it's turning to the export-oriented economy also, is giving you a much, much more opportunity to grow. Then one more basic idea I would like to share. This the entire India is going under the transformation of very formal economy. You see the JAM, that is Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, Mobile. Then insolvency and bankruptcy code. Then comes GST. So these are all the digitalization, then Aadhaar card, all these efforts which government are making. It's our transition from an informal economy to the formal economy. So there are many, many sectors who will immensely benefited from this year. Firstly is the digital payment, you see, like CDSL or NSDL, these stocks, because more and more accounts will be opened, more and more demat accounts will be opened, and 50% market is controlled by the CDSL. So in the next 20 years, this company, one has to look at it. NSDL and CDSL, only two companies we have. Then comes DMart. DMart is again a consumption story, Avenue Supermarket. The retail sector is also 90% is still it is unorganized. So from 90%, from 10% to 90%, there is an ample growth story. You have all these in companies. Then come Havells and Polycaps. All these companies is the lighting fans, kitchen appliances, office spaces, decoration. All these companies are offering a great opportunity to invest. I'll quote you one nice example because the national education policy also they have come out with. It also a very good opportunity. I was handling Navneet publication account as an advertising person. And we were shooting one ad film. Shivaji Satam was a brand ambassador there. What reminds me, the entire unit from spot buyer to makeup artist to model, they have once in their lifetime they have used Navneet publication as a product. Maybe a guide, maybe a 21 expected question sets. No doubt that company has done extremely well because it has touched all the socio-economic categories community-wise. So that is just an example. I'm quoting as an advertising person. I didn't realize that, but now when I become an investment banker, I know that type of miracles happen in the markets. Then insurance sector, one has to look at is little, it is completely under-penetrated. sector, because only 5% of the entire 140 crores population, they have insurance, maybe life insurance, maybe health insurance. Now we have the largest insurer, LIC, also got listed. For the under-penetrated sector, HDFC Life is the best company to look at, to study at. That's what we feel. Then come NBFC sector. We have the banking, we have NBFC, private sector bank, public sector banks. If you see last month's report, which we have come 15% credit growth, the SBI chairman has said, and more 13 to 15% credit growth in all the banking sectors. NBFCs are doing well. You see the Bajaj Finance case study. Bajaj Finance is all-time high now from 23 to now 3,000 in last 10 to 12 years. That kind of return which these equity markets are offering now. Then theme for the next coming 2-3 years to 10 years, one is 5G technology. We are going towards the 5G technology already. The first bidding process already being done. Jio, Airtel, all these companies, they have bid for it, they got the networks also. 5G tech is the biggest opportunity one can look at. Then comes ethanol. Ethanol, the 20% of the normal petrol or fuel, you have to have 20% of ethanol in that. So that sector is doing extremely well. There are companies like Praj Industries who are making the equipments of the ethanol extraction. That company can be looked at. Then comes fertilizers. Then come glass manufacturers. Glass manufacturers, I mean to say the solar glass manufacturers, the renewable energy when sector we are talking about. The glass manufacturers, like there are many companies in that segment that one has to look at. Then come artificial intelligence. That is the future themes I am sharing. Data analytics, then renewable energy, semiconductors, electric vehicles, and the green sustainable energy. These are the sectors one should look at for coming 5 years. Then the defense sector. Defense, till this last 6 months or last year, we were like an importer of defense. Now is 13,500 crores export we have done in the defense sector. The companies that are doing extremely well, like Hindustan Aeronautics Limited is the leader of, again, it's a government company. See the order book, they have 25,000 crore order book. Is a good suggestion or the study for the benefits. Then we have the third largest ecosystem for the startups globally. Then 74,400 DPIIT startups are registered in 650 districts. DPIIT is the Department of Promotion and Industry and Internal Trade. These much startups we have, these much unicorns we have, this much growing period we have. So we are in a very sweet spot, according to me, as far as the equity markets are concerned. These are the small presentation, the small pointers I have. If any questions, like you know. See, the answers will be depend on my only experience, not as a fund manager and all.
Any questions?
Since you are part of the investment fraternity from the Doordarshan side, what is your real experience in last maybe post-liberalization in last 30 years or so? What feedback you get from the investors after these programs, what you conduct in terms of the zeal or enthusiasm that comes to the equity market?
See, the zeal and enthusiasm is always a part of the Indian economy. I will quote you one example. I have interviewed Rakesh Jhunjhunwala ji just 15 years back. It was LIC's Golden Jubilee Year celebration. And we met at the LIC function, and then I requested him for the few interaction. He said, who watches business news on DD News? So I told him there are in many smallest towns we get a feedback that they watch business news, they want to know more about the stock markets and all. So I requested him, just tell us your idea of investing. So he said, and we were passing through his, from LIC to Charni Road. He said, in the car only we will do the interview. So he pointed me to the Samrat Hotel at Nariman Point. He said, had you been to Samrat Hotel? I said, yeah, many times. You love this Kachi Thali? I said, yeah, I love the Kachi Thali. He said the asset allocation is like the Kachi Thali. You should have the fundamentally like rice, chapati, these are the basic stocks, fundamental stocks. You should have farsan also, you should have sweet dish also. You you arrange your asset classes according to the Kachi Thali, you will be always feel well feeded, not empty stomach. It will be a classical example he said, and of course you know his success story like Titan. He was always for Titan. You see what type of returns Titan has generated all these years. Overall, as I mentioned, that private equity fund also, we have always a very, very bullish approach as far as the Indian markets are concerned. People want to bring their expertise, technical expertise, money to Indian markets. So always the response was always lukewarm.
Other question, you spoke about the insurance penetration.
Yeah.
So really you are over a period, whatever feedback you have, what is the exact penetration rate that you look into?
It's 5% current rate of penetration, but that government's policy and government initiative, they want it to be at 11% in next 10 years.
So talking about Rakesh ji, similar you can share your experience about Mr. Mahindra, which we were talking.
Exactly. Anand Mahindra ji, I interviewed him thrice, and it's a very interesting story, I should tell that. When he launched the Scorpio, that is in 2003 or 2004, if I remember it correctly. So we were at Nasik plant, I was interviewing him, and after the interview he said, "ठीक है Scorpio, but the future lies in the electric vehicles." That he told us 14, 15 years back. So he was always a visionary that, and now if you see the EV vehicles, the Tata Motors, Mahindra and Mahindra, they are doing extremely well. And that he predicted that 14, 15 years back. One more incident I still remember, it's a very personal experience with Mahindra sir. He used to visit Doordarshan many times because always a patriot. In 2006 or 7, we had some bomb blast in Mumbai. So my Delhi newsroom, they requested me ki please search for a big industrialist. And that time CM was Vilasrao Deshmukh, I suppose. So bring the big industrialist, and we want to hear from him that we still believe in Mumbai's spirit. After the bomb blast or any other things, we are not lost hope on Mumbai. So he came, I interviewed him, then Honorable CM was there. Next day, I met him at some award function. That time, Agriculture Minister, Mr. Pawar Sahib was there. And he got the award of the best rural citizen of India. I met him there also. There also he shared some pleasantries. Then he saw me in, of course, a very personal experience. Then he saw me having one dosa on the Gadi, very near to Doordarshan Kendra, because Mahindra Tower was just opposite to Doordarshan. So he just saw me and I could see that he recognized me. Again, I met him. So he asked me, yeah, I've seen you relishing on dosas and all near Doordarshan. Huh? You are very much enjoying it. So I told him, sir, that is the reality. 20 rupees dosa is the reality. What question I asked you as a 20,000 crore expansion, capital expansion plan, that is not reality for me at least. So that was the incident. But he was always bullish all these years. Adi Godrej also, when I interviewed him, he said that, Shailesh, I use only my products, maybe a synthol, maybe a soap, maybe a shampoo. I never use other products. The product is not allowed at my home.
Only Godrej.
Only Godrej. So that is the kind of, equity, because they like their own equity.
I think they are probably the patriotic.
Very patriotic, and they believe in their business.
Like in the plant in Pune of Tata Motors, if you are driving non-Tata car, you are not allowed to park the car inside.
Right.
Even if Mr. Ratan Tata is taking non-Tata car, he is not allowed. So probably that is the spirit. We were talking about the getting into formal sector. So being an investment banker, now a lot of companies will look at SME platforms getting listed. So how is the response from both promoters as well as the investors?
No, the SME segment is exactly doing well. Actually, many SME promoters are coming to the exchanges, and then in turn they got listed on the main exchange also. In defense sector, I should mention, there are companies like Sagar Defense, Paras Aerospace. They started as a SME, but now they are listed on the main exchange also, and then kind of return they have generated 400 times than the listing value.
But in terms of investors'
investor response is really good for the SME segment also, most of the time. But defense, there are certain sectors they are doing well in that segment, like defense.
Okay, defense.
Defense manufacturing, because of this production linked incentives, we have 2 lakh crores earmarked for the PLI scheme for the manufacturing sector. And as Honorable Prime Minister dreamed to make India as a manufacturing hub for the entire world. So that sector also doing extremely well, manufacturing sector.
So any impact on the demat accounts? Now, we saw the demat accounts crossing 10 crores recently.
And in this pandemic, the
But,
demat
yeah.
accounts, I think 30% increase in
Tremendous
demat accounts.
growth.
Tremendous
Like-
growth in demat accounts.
Yeah, like we say that it took almost 20 years to reach 4 crores, and then the later part,
Right.
it has gone to 10 crores.
Correct, correct.
Your perception or the feedback what you get from your interaction with the urban, semi-urban or rural areas in terms of getting into this new generation, getting into demat account, what exactly has happened? Like we are
No,
just
these are all
perplexed.
the millennials, coming into the market, because we get a feedback from remote places like Bhusawal, Jalgaon also. In Bhusawal, there is a big railway workshop is there, and more than 2,000 people works there. So we get feedback from their college, the college going sons and daughters. They have no demat accounts. And when we started one show, Marathi show on stock markets, Banda Rupaya, we recently started 4 months back. So we get feedback from the places which I have not heard also, like Patsora. Patsora, I never heard any village in Maharashtra, Patsora, but they send me mail also. They are in touch with the phone also. But the penetration is increasing, and to my surprise, we thought the Gujarat got the biggest number of retail investors. But Maharashtra already surpassed Gujarat in terms of the retail investors. We have largest number of retail investors in Maharashtra, and this progress in last 1.5 years phenomena. In pandemic period, people more and more invested in equity markets. You see the SIP numbers, like she has explained. The SIP, I think they have touched all-time high in this August, in all these years. It has touched, I think, more than 12 lakh crores they already have.
Of course, you are खणखणीत नाणं आहे तुम्ही 1,000 रुपयाचे. So in that context, the amount of zeal that gets generated, so it gets really reflected in the market when they follow like these. You said that DD has a better penetration as far as Maharashtra is concerned, especially rural areas. What
Definitely.
impact it really makes?
Definitely, they have benefited because the kind of feedback which we get, they are more interested in buy or sell type of programs, which I think my sponsor, Bombay Stock Exchange, is my main sponsor, their investor protection fund. So they don't allow us to recommend. Of course, we don't recommend also. But the viewer is more interested in buy or sell type of thinking. I am holding this shares. Should I hold it? Should I sell it? Or should I increase the number of units for that?
Sujit, any questions from the other side? Mic is here.
So you mentioned infrastructure sector is going to, rather it's growing. We all see a lot of metros and
Depends.
being
Yes, it
developed.
depends.
Infrastructure.
Okay.
Infrastructure.
Sorry.
So lots of cements and concrete is being poured, and a lot of high-tech projects are also coming. In fact, Mumbai is quite close to Singapore, at least the south side. But from the investing angle, when I see L&T, HCC, they are not making much money for equity from equity side.
Yeah.
So how do you, infrastructure side is growing, but for investor, what should be their approach?
For investor, as far as the infrastructure sector is concerned, it has to be a very long-term approach. You have to take more than 8 to 10 years. That was we have observed all these years. Whatever clients I have handled, because we have raised many funds for the HAM project, that hybrid annuity model projects from 2014. I can name the companies, but the investor made money in 8 years, not a short term yet. But infra will be a story for India, because the kind of infrastructure project we are announcing and we are executing. I think yesterday only, there is one big project they have initiated also. And the kind of e-ways, kind of e-bills are generated, freight also, passenger travel also, on these tolls and all. Infra will give you money, but 8 to 10 horizon, 8 to 10 years horizon, not a short term. Time is the key. Time is the essence for that.
About these defense related stocks, I just want to have your perspective. My individual opinion is that basically this defense predominantly is government driven, the orders and all that.
Right.
Plus, we always have that great wheel of secrecy whenever it comes to defense. So the point is, in such a scenario, as a retail investor, the information flow, I don't know to what extent it really flows. And in that context, defense being highly capital intensive, and it depends on so many other geopolitical factors.
Right.
So from return perspective, do you see defense companies to be a really good option to the investors?
Exactly. I will just tell you one example. Though not invested in, but a company, I should tell you, PTC Industries Limited is not Power Trading Corporation. PTC Industries Limited is a defense company, is in Lucknow. The specialty titanium castings is their USP, you can say, or the monopoly product. They got the maximum order from Rafale and all these government orders. Entry point was 825. Now the price is 2,500 in 1.5 years. So that is the only sector which will do well, because see the export order, 13,500 crores, which already got exports. Then Hindustan Aeronautics Limited with the government company, but the kind of boost they are giving to the HAL, and see the stock, how it has performed also. So the defense will give you the good year. Another company, Astra Microwave also, again a defense company, 132 was like entry point, now it is at 310. Because you have to see, study the fundamentals and what kind of monopoly products they are offering to the sector. See, these are the examples, like is in 1.5 year, you see from 825 to 2,500, or Astra Microwave 132 to 310 in a 1 year period of time. Pharmaceuticals, healthcare also are doing extremely well in a certain small SME, like Zota Healthcare is a SME. But see, it's 200, they have entry point, and now is 316 in last 6 months. It has.
Just continuing with the same question, in terms of this defense sector, with the kind of secrecy in question,
Yeah.
do we really get the right inputs? Of course, the company is listed,
Yes.
but vis-a-vis the government policy, like how you look at it?
Yeah, we get the right information also, because the orders are always on the tenders are always on the website of the companies, or even you check the government site also. The kind of sourcing the government is doing from the SME defense sector, SME manufacturing unit, as far as the defense is concerned. I will tell you one example. We have raised recently a sizable amount from a fund called Maharashtra government, got a good fund for SME, is Maharashtra Defense and Aerospace Venture Capital Limited. It is handled by IDBI Capital. They have raised more than 500 crores. And only SME defense fund it is. We have done 2-3 placements from that fund. So the response is tremendous for that. The company also doing well, 2-3 come, and then IDBI Capital, they have, I think that Sagar Defense, everything they have done. More than 20 companies they have invested and reached to the IPO level, and the amount of wealth they have created is phenomenally higher than the other peers also.
Any other question?
You can address me Shailesh, because मी जसं disclaimer टाकला त्याचा की I am not an analyst, not a fund manager, but yes, I am a keen observer and a cheerleader for the markets and the economy.
So the IT sector right now is witnessing the downfall of about 20 to 30%. But if we look at the balance sheet of all 5 top sisters of India, they are quite doing well from the revenue as well as growth side.
Which sector you mentioned?
IT.
IT, yeah.
IT software, TCS, Infosys, L&T, Infotech and all. So why they are going down to 30 to 30%? Is it the early reaction to the US inflation, US downtrend these guys have witnessed and giving the reaction, or they were overheated for last 1.5 year, and that's probably like a Pachan kind of reaction. So what do you think on that?
One is the attrition rate was always a challenge for the IT sector, and it comes under digitalization, as future is digital, and all these IT companies. If you see, the 54% of the world's market cap come from the Indian IT companies, and they're the debt-free companies. Debt-free companies, their profit which they're announcing and profit distribution to the investor also is huge. Buyback is huge. Every 4 months you can see the major buybacks they are announcing. And see, IT and banking sector are always in 1 month, if you see the IT is doing well, the banking is not that well. IT is always, after 1 to 2 months, you will see the fall also. If you observe those stocks, some, what I should say, some mid-cap IT stocks also, like Persistent Technology and Mindtree, they can be a large cap. They have a potential to become large cap in 4 to 5 years. Same with New Gen, Happiest Mind. Happiest Mind, the IPO, I think in just COVID period only they come out with the IPO. But the company is doing extremely well and they have also potential to become a large cap in coming 5 to 10 years. IT is always a good bet to be in, and as remember 15 years back traveling in the train and all, no? So we see all type of the reactions. So Infosys nahi liya to kya liya? That was like a discussion. And one point Uday I forgot to mention, all this because of the IT revolution, these Narayan Murthy sir or Nilekani ji, they become a role model for the entire young generation. So the comment was like, "Are Saru company promoter Saru che, IIT no gold medalist che." See, that was the perception. They are successfully they have created, and because earlier at our young age we have only heard about the Tata, Birlas or Mafatlals, and then come Ambani. But with this IT, they have shaped the middle class dreams also. Like if you are highly educated, you are academically inclined person, you can make it big. All this IT, you see the company like Persistent, you see Happiest Mind, all these promoters, if you see, their intellectual capital is huge.
From 100 unicorns, how much you expect in coming years?
Their perception is 230 unicorns. The perception or their wish list, the government wish list.
Any questions before we wind up?
Right.
Few startups
Yeah.
in Pune region as well as near Gujarat. So how these companies are shaping up?
The startups are shaping up, of course, the pace and the speed which they were supposed to raise. It's not that up to the mark still, because see, we have enough capital for that also. But sometimes what happens, the expectations of the investors are too high. Or sometimes the startups expectations are too high, because everyone feels that I have a winning idea, I have a global idea, and I should have a best valuation around peers. Venture capital funds. The venture, they are waiting for the venture capital funds for the investment, yeah.
Good evening. First time you mentioned that you are a cheerleader for Indian economy and your entire presentation was on that line. Like 75 years of the growth or whatever, and last 3 decades, we have seen the immense potentiality, and that is coming into reality.
Correct, correct.
So going ahead also, we have big vision, big dreams, and things are looking very good. But at the same time, is there any concerns or there is a change or some industries which will be ruled out or will be going out of the thing, or some other word of caution for the all investors? Just one other side or maybe some concerns.
Some industries getting obsolete, like Kodak kind of thing. So do you see?
Yeah, yeah. See, that is always a worry. Like Kodak, see, that you have to be very well studied about the relevance of that business model. Because earlier 15-20 years back, the PCO was there, STD was there. So that time we didn't realize that will be out of circulation. Like pager, when we, I think we were in college, the pager has come, but in 4-5 months when the mobile generation started, the mobiles have started, it become, so that is the important 3 to 5 years. There is a one famous quote from the Warren Buffett. If one assume after 3 months, if the stock market is only not there, what will happen to that company? Still it makes a relevance or not? So then the answer is there, FMCG, even if the stock markets are not there, FMCG will do well because we need that thing. You need electricity, you need FMCG, you need consumer products, you need AC, washing machine, everything you need. Irrespective of the stock market, whether they are functioning or stock market collapse or stock market lost their existence, still the company which will survive, which will make relevant to the consumer and a number of satisfied customers, then the company will survive irrespective of the global situation also. We have proved that. Pandemic has shown that. Pandemic, the market were all-time high. March 2020, we have good bull market run, irrespective of the pandemic. And the pandemic also, the way we fought, is really, really remarkable. And we have shown it to the world as well.
So, Shailesh is having another program at Borivali, so we have to excuse him.
Little bit, yeah.
Extremely.
Really, 1-2 questions.
Any other?
Any other 1-2 questions we can? SME investor. SME depends on that particular company and the sector, because only sector. See, I can't say all the SME company or startups are good, but sector wise and their, as I told you, business model wise and the promoters is very important in that. Promoters background, as far as the SMEs are concerned, promoter background is very important in investing.
So even the theme becomes important in terms of infra or
exactly. Auto ancillaries. There are many SME companies from auto ancillary sectors. They are doing extremely well.
And प्रश्न विचारायचा वाटतं.
Sir, thank you.
Hello. There are only 2 questions. First question is that always nowadays it is being reported that foreign investors are abandoning Indian market and going away. Yeah. Why is that so? Is this true? And secondly, will they come back? And one day the market is up, Sensex is up by 1,000 points, next day it is down by 900 points, third day it is up by 600 points. Why such volatility?
Sir, there are 2 ways of looking at it. One, the FII in last 8 months they brought by. So they have sold the shares, they have sold the equities and got their money back. But the next month they came back. See, because in a certain, as I told you, I interacted with 2-3 FIIs whom I am dealing with. So the kind of returns which they imagine or which they expected from the markets, till that level they don't sell. But till that level achieved, they got their money back. But still again they come in next month. You see last 6 month chart, if you see, observe it correctly. The FII pumping money also. Last month 6,000 crores they have put in. Prior to that month they have taken 3,000 crores worth stock. They have sold that type of stock. At the same time, as you said, next third day again the Sensex is up. Because the domestic institutional investor like LIC, GIC, they do the buying part of it. It's always there. When the FII sells, there are many times, not 100%, but the DII always buy on that day. And now the balance is maintained.
So you think ultimately Indian market will prosper?
It will prosper, sir. It will prosper. We all will have a very healthy, wealthy life ahead.
Before we conclude, I would like to thank Mr. Shailesh Pethe for coming here and giving us such a wonderful presentation. It really showed...
no, it was just my small experiences, not a presentation.
In fact, I had little privilege of, I was pleased to ask questions to him because he's the person who is always poking questions.
So there were 2-3 threads for today. First, I don't have the teleprompter because whenever we read news, we have a teleprompter. It was, I don't have to mug up anything. Today, I have to literally little bit study, and there are always a guest in front of me. So posing a question is always easy rather than answering a question. So I think he has taken a sweet revenge for all these 13 years when I am interviewing him, and even Sujit also, one of the guests. Many people, they are not turned up today, but they are always a respected guest for me. So it's always an honor to interview them rather. And today I will put it in that way. It was like a good interaction with all of you people. Otherwise, I would not have get opportunity to meet you also. Though I met regularly Uday, Sujit, and many other honorable members of your prestigious Lokmanya Seva Sangh.
So, in a way, we just wanted to be interactive than he giving a presentation because he was not comfortable. But let me tell you, asking questions, he also comes well prepared. In fact, we are not prepared, but he is well prepared when asking questions. It is not an easy task when we look
For
at
that, the job is simple. When you are Sachin Tendulkar or Virat Kohli or Sehwag, is ball ही डालना है, बाकी कुछ है नहीं. So it's very easy.
Thank you very much. I hand over to Sujit now.
Thanks a lot.
So thank you very
Have a-
much.
Have a grand festive season and wishing you Diwali, Dashera, everything well in advance. And let's pray for the biggest market bull run in the coming year so that because BSE's tagline is the investment exchange temple of wealth creation. That is BSE's tagline. So might as well create wealth for us, for nation. So that is the best way of looking at it. India story, yeah.
So thank you very much, Shailesh sir. And with here we come to the end of September month sessions also. In the month of October it's going to be a little challenging because a lot of festivals around the corner. But we have a program on the 16th of October. Mr. Manoj Sathe, ex-Vice President of NSDL, will be delivering a lecture. We will have our individual consultation also. And on the other program, we will let you know the details as and when we affirm. So thank you very much once again, and we now stand for the prayer.